For folks viewing at home, Radcliffe is on the left side of your screen, Ohio State on the right. We've got Radcliffe a couple of seats ahead of Ohio State here off the start. Radcliffe has had some amazing starts here, and they're definitely repeating that in the second varsity 8.
Yeah, and we're getting hit with some pretty heavy wind here in the first bit of this race, really giving the athletes an idea of what they're going to be feeling through their hands and in the boat for the next 6-7 minutes or so.
Radcliffe keeping this momentum just about a boat length up on Ohio State, but Ohio State still has their bow ball just about on the coxswain of Radcliffe, so they have a good amount of overlap, and we have definitely seen the Buckeyes come from behind and make it up, so it'll be interesting to see what their coxswain calls, what the crews focus on here.
Yeah, to my eye, the Radcliffe crew is at a little bit higher stroke rate earlier in this race, with Ohio State opting to settle in at a little lower beat.
This Ohio State crew has 3 seniors, stroke seed Ella Harrison, 7 seed Lucy Scott, and 2 seed Abby Bloom. Abby is from Toledo, Ohio, and studying finance. This summer she will be traveling and then starting work. Oh man, as we all are. We got Lucy Scott, another senior from Ohio, Marietta, Ohio, studying marketing, and she's interested in law school, so please come and talk to me. And finally, Ella Harrison from Westchester, Pennsylvania. She is a biology major with a minor in Spanish, which is amazing. And she'll be traveling and working as a medical assistant in the Philadelphia area for a year or two, and maybe applying to a physician assistant school. Fantastic. It's always great to see what plans the seniors have, and it's always amazing to see where everyone goes and how their careers change.
Yeah, Radcliffe still rating quite high, keeping with their aggressive opening to this first half of the race.
Radcliffe open water over Ohio State, and yeah, they've got their stroke rate up, but they are doing it in a very efficient manner. They look fantastic. There is a point where your stroke rate can be too high, where it is not sustainable. Think about, going on a marathon run and you start off at your sprint rate. That is not going to be sustainable. And it's the same thing for the rowers here. There is a point where you're going too fast and you're not getting that power output. But it seems like Radcliffe has found that secret sauce there and the perfect mix of both power and speed.
Yeah, and the blade work looking really nice on that close-in shot. Folks on the water, you'll just have to take my word for it, but given the conditions, it's looking real smooth on the Radcliffe side.
You would think they're rowing on glass, but folks, water or at home, you can tell that this is not flat water, not ideal conditions. And it looks like we're having just a little bit more rain. It's been going on and off here on the course, but yeah, those rowers are now probably getting hit with a little bit more conditions than they had when they launched. But as we mentioned earlier, sometimes that is a nice gift where you're feeling really hot and you kind of wish out that, oh man, I hope something would take this away, and boom, here comes the rain. Now, as a coxswain, not my favorite experience. I would typically wear sunglasses, but I would just refer to them as goggles, because at this point you're getting hit with the rain and the splash from the blades, and you got to do what you can.
So I did have a chat with the Ohio State boatman earlier today about the conditions. So I have some statistics to share to give you a bit of a perspective of just what we're looking at. So normally the Scioto runs at 2,000 feet per minute. Right now we're sitting at 5,000 feet per minute.
Wow.
And part of the reason why we're getting some white capping and such heavy conditions is that when you couple that much flow with a south wind, it really compounds. So we have some real coalescence of factors to make this a bumpy ride for all of our athletes today.
And sometimes when the water is high on this course, it can bring in debris from the side that is not ideal. Thankfully, it doesn't look like we have too much on the course today, but that could even change by tomorrow.
Yeah, I can also share that the Ohio State support staff were out clearing debris, as close to 90 minutes before the regatta started. Just heading up and down the course, making sure that there weren't any nests of logs that could break through under heavy flow or a big gust of wind. So huge thanks to the folks making sure that the racing was safe and fair today.
Huge thank you. That is no easy task. You got to lay down on a boat and drag logs out of the water, folks. That is not fun. So huge shout out for them to getting this course looking fantastic. We still have that Radcliffe crew several boat lengths above Ohio State. Now, earlier, Raleigh, you asked Olivia, what do you do in these situations when you have that open water, or maybe you're behind as the coxswain? And Olivia gave the perfect answer for a rower's perspective of, I just listen to my coxswain. It's exactly what I would have told her to do. But in the coxswain seat, what I like to do is, if I can't see the other boat or I need to keep pushing my crew, I make up a race and I use the data available to me to say, we're going to get, our stroke rate up and our splits down. And we've got that Radcliffe crew approaching the finish here, very strong. Just powering through these wind gusts. And that's Radcliffe. And Ohio State.
Excellent racing from both crews in that first flight of our second Varsity 8 race. Up at the start line at the top of the course is the second flight of the second Varsity 8 race. We have in lane 4, University of North Carolina, lane 3, UCF, lane 2, IU. Crews are looking like they're just about to sit ready, and we may have a start underway soon. And crews are sitting ready. And we have a start underway here with 3 boats across, University of North Carolina, UCF, and IU. Too early to tell who might have a lead off of these first 5 to 10 strokes, but a clean start out of the blocks for all 3 crews. A 3-boat race is always an exciting event. In a dual race, it's just you and one other crew, but a third crew in the mix makes it interesting. You have different margins, you have different scenarios to come up with, more boats to watch. And right now, if I had to say, I think lane 4, North Carolina has an early lead. UCF right with them. IU in third place.
Yeah, UNC, UCF just about a seat off of one another, with UNC just a little bit ahead, but they are battling here in the early first 500 of this race. We've got IU about half a boat length down, but they still have contact with both other crews.
See, UNC's blade work looks really clean right here. Strong first minute of their race from this crew. And they're still holding with UCF. These 2 crews out front. If anything, UCF maybe has a seat over UNC. Indiana in that third position, maybe about half a boat length down from these 2 lead crews.
A huge battle here off of the start. Again, really just trading bow balls with one another. This is going to be a solid fight here. It'll really come down to who's going to call the move at the first 500 and how powerful can you be.
We are approaching that first 500 meters. Lane 3, UCF, 2, 3, 4 seats over North Carolina in lane 4. Indiana still has contact with both crews, but these 2 lead crews are working to press away. UCF has broken contact. Indiana still has some overlap with UNC.
Yep, UCF, couple of seats above the North Carolina crew, but they are not giving up water easily. Both teams are just absolutely giving their all in the first 1,000 meters of the race, and that can be hard, where maybe you wanted to save a little bit of that for the sprint. How are you going to use your energy throughout the race? And again, UCF about a half boat length above UNC, but they are battling every stroke.
UNC looks like trying to break a little bit of the momentum from the UCF crew, taking maybe a seat back. This will be an interesting race to see some split times at the 1,000-meter mark. Both of these lead crews looking very composed. UCF maybe still maintaining that half a boat length up on UNC. As we approach the 1,000-meter mark in the second flight of the second varsity A races today.
Yeah, UNC in second, but they've got their bow ball right about midway through UCF. And these crews are just fighting every single stroke. They're doing a great job handling the wind that continues to pick up. Now they're kind of maintaining that position. Again, UCF about half a boat length above UNC. IU just behind UNC, about a full boat length.
And some times out of the 1,000, UCF with a time of 3:17, North Carolina with a time of 3:19, Indiana with a time of 3:23. So only 2 seconds are separating these two lead crews.
A very, very close pack. But we are seeing UCF take about another seat or two away from UNC. UNC still has contact. Their bow ball just about 7, maybe 8 on the stroke seat.
In the races we've seen so far today, UCF has had a lot of really clean blade work. I think that time that they have on the water in their Florida climate is really showing up. All athletes in all 3 crews look very calm, composed, working through these conditions. And the rain has stopped and the sun has come out here on the water.
The weather is changing by the minute here, which is not uncommon, unfortunately, for Ohio. But that UCF crew, coxed by Sophia, she is a senior. And we've got sophomore Sophia Scott in the stroke seat.
UCF holding their lead over second place UNC. About a stern overlap, still connected, but UCF working to break away, looking to hopefully open up some water between themselves and UNC.
UNC doing what they can to keep their bow ball on the stern deck of UCF. It is a fight.
If anything, it looks like UCF is starting to open up that first bit of water between themselves and second position UNC.
They just about broke contact, and they are just powering through here. They look very good, very clean.
Indiana also a strong race in that strong third position. All athletes in this second varsity 8 crew are looking composed, working through these conditions.
We've got that lead crew at approximately a 36, which is a very good stroke rate for these wind conditions, especially in a headwind. It is hard to keep up your stroke rate to kind of what you're used to maybe at practice or on a normal course.
And we have these crews approaching the finish line. UCF holding on to that lead position that they've maintained throughout the race. UNC second position, IU in third. Athletes here in that last 250 meters, laying it out all on the line.
Just charging here through their sprints. UCF continuing to pull away here from UNC. UNC continuing to do what they can to pull away from IU.
And approaching the line, UCF across. Followed by UNC. IU takes third place. And that wraps up the 2 flights of the second varsity 8s. We are headed up to the top of the course.